It's December 2025, and the number one question everyone is asking is this: is right now a good time to buy a home, or should I wait for interest rates and home prices to finally drop? To answer that question, let's start with home affordability. Here's the reality that we're facing as we head into 2026. For the first time in decades, it's officially cheaper to rent than to buy in every single one of the top 50 U.S. metro areas. Between high home prices and those extra costs of buying, such as property taxes, homeowners insurance, title costs, many buyers are feeling priced out. The big debate right now isn't just about the sticker price. It's about whether your monthly paycheck is going to be able to handle a monthly mortgage that might be double what you're currently paying in rent. Now, before I say anything else, we do have to remember that home ownership is the gateway to wealth building, but we need to look at that as a long game. Now, I know in recent years that hasn't necessarily been the case, but we're headed back to a more reasonable market. The additional money you pay in closing costs, ongoing taxes, and insurance, plus the upkeep of a property, should be more than compensated for in the long-term equity gained on your property. Having said that, folks who are renting do need some relief and help to be able to actually afford to buy. So let's look at that. Right now, we have an interest rate stalemate. Currently, the 30-year fixed rate is hovering around 6.2%. Now, we're all wishing that those 3% pandemic-era rates would come back, but that ain't going to happen. Not anytime soon. The risk of waiting for a rate drop is that the shadow demand of sideline buyers, they're going to flood the market, which is likely to spark bidding wars and drive prices up higher. The questions to ask your lender right now start with: if I buy now, what will it take for me to refinance down the road? Here's another question: what if I don't put 20% down? What would that look like for me financially? Will I have to pay mortgage insurance? Look at all of your options. Now back to market conditions. We've got increased inventory. There haven't been this many homes on the market since 2019, and the growing inventory is putting downward pressure on list prices and upward pressure on days on market. That's creating a more favorable buying environment. We've got less bidding wars and more traditional transactions that include those wonderful buyer safety nets like home inspections and appraisals. Now, I understand that people rent for all different kinds of lifestyle reasons, but if you're renting right now because you got outbid 25 times in the last 2 years, or there wasn't anything to buy, or you've been trying to save up to afford home ownership, I do think that now, right now, ahead of 2026 in the spring market, is the time to reevaluate your options. Talk to your lender and talk to a reputable realtor. I hope that helps.